Alright, people of the world, this is GTA coming at you with another Forza Horizon 4 live stream. At this point, it's just it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Well, kind of. They're not really doing anything new with the game considering Horizon 5's out. But you know what's up. You know what's up. Ah, crap. Cables! I'm being done dirty by cables. Even though there's gonna be people out there that are like, wireless is the future. Wireless is not the future. For the most part, wireless is just stupid ass e-waste, by the way. Just putting it out there. Wireless is just nonsense. Because you have the aspect of, hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Yeah, wireless technology is just en masse. It's my auctions. Sold. Did someone buy it out? Yeah, they bought that out. Okay, that's fine. I was doing a thing last stream, last Forza stream, when I was talking about how bad the auction house was, and how that it's tied to your painter and tuner thing. And I'm like, but really though, it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, I'll buy that out. But yeah, at this point, I don't have a decent Forza game to play. I had Forza Horizon 5, but I refunded it because the game was broken to all hell. It wouldn't run on my system. So I'm like, why would I have to give incompetent developers and publishers money for a game that won't work, that would not work on a modern system with simple, or what some would call simple incompatibilities. Well, not some. These guides online that said Niantic services were interfering. If that is proven to be true, then the development is more stupid than anything else. These are all simple services. Why would your product be incompatible with them? It's sound, for crying out loud. The Niantic services are mainly around sound. My and also what's it? Sonic Studio. Why would Sonic Studio be incompatible? Right? This is not just about like Forza Horizon 5, it's just like let's just do the flick. Yeah, look at my greasiness head. I'm kidding, it's relatively fresh. There's been a lot of nonsense going on with like Xbox games now recently. Halo Infinite. Is it Halo Infinite? I could be wrong. And Battlefield. Well, Battlefield's not a thing. An Xbox game. It's a multi-platform game. Multi-platform is always going to be welcome. Oh, I already had it. Never have another one. Multi-platform games are always going to be welcome. But my two instances recently are going to be Halo Infinite running like ass, And you know it, Forza Horizon 5. Some people claimed that things like Sonic Studio, dynamic services, and even overclocking software were to blame for the game not starting. Now, I don't get why that would happen. They're not interfering with any kind of process. Not by a long shot, at least. So wait, did I just pick it off here? Yes. Yes? I don't get why that would cause an issue at all. It should not be causing an issue. I think, personally, I think that it's just incompetence. Because all these publishers and developers want to make money. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're not like enthusiasts that do this as a hobby. It's along the lines of it's along the lines of a business for them. They make a game, but the publisher is the one that's forcing them to put the stuff out early and everything. But yeah, it stands to reason. It stands to reason. Let me do something real quick. Why did Discord open on that screen? That's fucking nonsense. Windows 10, sorry, your shit, you bastard. Yeah, I've had experiences with games being bad before. Forza was one of them, right? When my rig was in its baby phase. When my rig was in its baby phase, a Ryzen 7 2700X and a GTX 1060. I couldn't even get Horizon 4 or even Horizon 3 to run. Because of some BS nonsense on the development side of things. And then all of a sudden the game freaking works. Which I'm thankful for, because Forza in its own right is basically an outlet. I love racing games. I'm gonna play Forza. In fact, I still have Horizon 1 hidden away somewhere. But to release a game that's all ass busted up when it leaves for retail, it's just inexcusable. Why would you do that? Why would a development team allow such a thing to happen? Yeah, they might have penalties put on them by a publisher. I don't know. I don't exactly know how these things work, but publishers should not be forcing games out early. Development teams should not be allowing it to happen. Period. The fact that Forza was so rushed, that Horizon 5, any of the Forza games was so rushed out, and especially Horizon 4 with virtually no TLC given to it. Oh, bye. What? One's shiny, one's not. What the fuck is this nonsense all about? Come on, Playground Games. Get more creative with your bumpers. Oh, we've made one glossy and one not glossy. They're both the same. Oh, good lord. I still want a decent little spoiler on this. That actually matches the rear theme quite well. I'm very surprised at that. But my point still stands for the most part. Oh, it made my car purposefully heavier. Sweet. My point still stands that the game should not have even left unless it was proven to work properly with all these pieces of software. That's on the development team to make sure it works with all of them. Niantic services and Sonic Studio do not interfere with the game. If it is, that's a fault with the game itself. Because Niantic and Sonic Studio are literally there for audio enhancement. It makes your volume louder. You can set equalizers and stuff like that. You can set like oh shit. I think if I remember, I've got it installed, but I don't ever open it. I don't need to. But you can set stuff up with your microphone and things like that. Yeah, I'm Sonic Studio 3. You can set up stuff in the recording studio for volume stabilizer, volume equalizer, noise reduction, acoustic echo cancellation, all that kind of stuff. It's all wonderful. It's how I was able to take a 35 quid microphone kit and make it sound halfway decent as Sonic Studio 3. It touches your audio. It doesn't affect the game. You can in theory pass the game through and run an equalizer and all that stuff. But aside from that, there's no other effect. So why? Why would that kind of stuff change it? Did I not really... I didn't put custom rims on this. Terrible. And another thing. Overclocking software? Really? So, another one of these pieces of software was... MSI Afterburner and Rivia Tuner Statistics. Statistics Tuner. They work together to be able to put like an overlay on your screen, as you can probably see up top left, or up there, or wherever. Because I'm on like reverse. Let me see where I am. Up the top left is where you see like my stats for Rivia. It's using information brought in by MSI Afterburner, and Rivia displays it. It can also limit frames per second. But I've got the game capped to 75, so 75, but also capped to 60 in this. My point is, it's not like the old days, where a CPU frequency determines how a game runs. So back in the day, PCs used to come with a turbo button, because certain games would require a certain CPU speed to run properly. Essentially, you push the turbo button, it'll either make the CPU go faster or slower, which was kind of neat. You press the turbo button, your CPU got a few megahertz faster. You felt like you were going to warp speed. Like, good lord. Personally, I've never experienced it because my PC from like 2001 didn't even have that. So yeah, I had a Windows ME PC, Millennium Edition. A lot of people hated it because, I don't know, not worth the upgrade. But from somebody's point of view that started off with Millennium Edition and who didn't upgrade, the operating system's just fine. It's people who upgraded from 98 that was like, oh, there's not that much different. It's just media tools and one or two other things. Not worth it. I mainly disregarded that because it's a borderline stupid thing to say. I'm not gonna say it's stupid because to each their own. But I think it's kind of a stupid thing to say. A borderline stupid thing to say. Ooh. A borderline stupid thing to say on the fact that people upgrading to it said it wasn't worth it. But if you're starting off on Millennium Edition, it's just fine. Oh, install the setup, please. Thank you. But yeah, my point is the overclocking software should not affect it. I understand if Rivia tuner statistics didn't work, because that has actually screwed me over in the past for one particular game, and it was Alien Isolation. I had to turn that nonsense off just to get the game to run. Or I had to, yeah, turn its detection level off. Or rather disable it. But that's fine. But the point is, it shouldn't be a thing, and I am going to slate Sega on that one as well, because come on now. Whoa. Hang about. Hey, that sounds kind of weird though. NGL. Let's bring this down here. Click. It's not just me. You had like a kind of whistle. Or a sound when you were de-accelerating. Or decelerate or whatever. It's whatever though. Oh, what? But yeah, Alien Isolation should be patched so that Rivia doesn't interfere. Or it doesn't interfere with Rivia or whatever. Because all Rivia is doing is showing an on-screen display and allowing the FPS on the game to be capped. I'm gonna slate the developers for that very, very big oversight to what is essentially a very good game. Because don't get me wrong, Alien Isolation is a very good game from the hour or so that I've played of it. And I should bring that back for what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a Hallows week of repeats for the 4th year. So Hallows week next year we'll have a Return to Phasmophobia and all new horror games. Hopefully Martha is Dead, if I can ever pick that up. Yeah, that's another thing. The game that I was talking about that I had a bad experience with was Martha is Dead. But to be fair, that was still an old development build of the game. So Wired Productions gave me a Steam key for Martha is Dead to stream it to their Steam page. And I was told beforehand, in all openness, the social media manager was all open about it. And they're like, yeah, it's going, or the thing that we got for stream, the stream guidelines basically said it's an old development build, or beta build, or whatever. And you know what I think of beta builds? I should have backed that up. That was very good. But the point is, it was an old beta build and it crashed. It crashed a fair amount. Another game like that was the Blair Witch. So it's not like I'm trying to single out Forza, because I've got games and I have played games that have been buggy as shit and still haven't been fixed properly. But for Forza Horizon 5, a AAA game to be released, or that is released, for it to be released And is also incompatible with so many streamer-based tools like OBS. It was super incompatible with OBS. It might be patched. Nyamic, Sonic Studio. I can go through. I'll grab a list. There's a list. There's a list. Now I'll quickly bring up a few of them. If I know them, I'll tell you. I've typed the wrong word. Solutions on how to fix. Okay. Developers have provided a list of antivirus programs that will prevent the game from booting. Trend Micro Maximum Security. Never heard of it. Komodo Antivirus. I use Komodo on a daily basis and it's super freaking helpful. I even ran the game through Komodo and still nada. Sophos. Emisoft Anti-Malware. Avira. Avast. Bitdefender. Those last three ones I have heard of. And they're meant to be decent. But outside of Komodo Firewall, which was recommended to me by a specialist, a trusted specialist, need I mind you, I trust the judgment. It has been super helpful. To quote the article, which has spelling errors, but okay. Aside with the extra S at the end. Aside from antiviruses, Playground says that numerous other applications can cause Forza Horizon 5 to either underperform or fail to start, and they advise to either disable them while playing the game or even uninstalling them. There is a full list of potentially conflicting applications, according to developers. This is from Playground Games. Logitech G Hub. I don't use Logitech products, that's not going to affect me. MSI Afterburner and River Tuner Statistics Server. I use both those daily. It's how my graphics card stays pretty much cool. EVGA Precision. I'm pretty sure that's EVGA's overclocking tool or something. XSplit. OBS. I'm using that right now to broadcast to you. Discord. MacType. Warsaw Banking App. Wallpaper Engine. Evolute Sound Studio. Namek Audio. Sonic Audio. Sonic Audio comes in the form of Sonic Studio. Additionally, the developer states that you should disable any FPS boosting apps like MSI Dragon Center or Ryzen Master. Why? Why was the game released in such a state that gaming social media apps and daily use software are incompatible? Why? This article tells you to update your drivers. That's Ginks TV is talking about Twitch streamers. Misbehaving bad from Twitch, you have to accidentally stream their content meant for OnlyFans. I don't care. Point is, there are of course other options you can turn to if you're still having trouble launching Forza Horizon 5. If nothing of the above was sufficient to fix your problems, we advise you to visit the official Forza Horizon 5 support page. Let me take a peek. Yeah, and Forza more. Yeah, in the official page, it tells you all of this. Yeah. My biggest question would be, why? Why have you let the game? Why did you let the game get released in such a state? Like, don't get me wrong. As soon as the game goes on sale, I'm popping off for the Ultimate version. Again, I'm expecting a bunch of stuff to be patched to allow the game to run. If they can't even get that correctly, I'm refunding the game and I'm not buying it again until the game itself is virtually dead. I did the same thing with Horizon 4, and look where it got me. Yes, when I got it near the end of its life, the game worked. However, it would launch and it worked, but it was also still full of bugs. I was still able to fall through the map and various other places. Now, of course, you're going to get the slew of people that are like, oh, but the game runs fine for me. Good. If it runs, it runs. Fantastic. Good. Go have fun. Go support the developer. Oh, new PV. Sweet. Go support the developer. Give them your money. The fact that the Ultimate Edition gives you access to discounted access to the expansions as well is also something very fantastic. So you'd be paying about 30-40 quid more if you were to buy Horizon 4 and then individually buy like the treasure map, VIPs, card packs, and expansions. So get an Ultimate Edition for $80 when the game itself is what, 40, 45, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, Ultimate Edition. It's like what, $80. 2 unreleased expansions won't make up for that price wise. Means you're paying under $10 for card packs and stuff like that, when it would normally cost you over that, give or take. The point is, unless you're on console, buying a PC game day one is not the way to go, personally. Give it a few months, wait for all the bug reports to come in, wait for things to get solved. But knowing Playground Games, unless it is actually breaking the game for some users, they're not going to do anything about it. That's just how they are. Going by how many bugs there still is, especially with the AI in Horizon 4, they're not going to fix them. It's whatever. They'll just point you to... Their main support is like, have you updated your drivers? Have you turned your computer on and off? Send this crash report. Oh, it's this thing. Uninstall it, please. When they start asking you to uninstall an audio dependency, oh boy, shit really hits the fan. But if that's been patched since I've last played it, and it's specifically on Steam, so Xbox fanboys could be like, hey, get out in Game Pass. Game Pass. Renting games. Yeah, don't use Game Pass to play games. Use Game Pass to test games, and then go out and buy the games. You get £1 for 3 months? Go for it. Go out, test games, make a list, and then individually buy those games. Because when you get down to it, Microsoft can easily take off games from Game Pass. If you go out there and buy the game properly after testing it on Game Pass to see if you like it and want it, then you're going to be in for a good time. That means they cannot take the game away from you. Once you have it, you have it. Ooh, a super spawn. I genuinely do feel bad for the people that heavily invest in Game Pass and like... But Game Pass is so amazing. It's a good way to... Game Pass is genuinely a good way to go, by the way. But only for testing games, not for actually daily driving and playing games. It's a testing ground. It's actually a way to get you to spend more money, but people are not really falling for it. You have access to a huge amount of games that you can, Is Game Pass a streaming one? Oh, I think of xCloud. xCloud. Going by how Game Pass is laid out. Going by how Game Pass is laid out. And that it's a rental service. Yeah, I'm not freaking surprised. Completely. Honda. Woohoo. Okay, let's see what Hondas I need. Was it A? Was that A class? I think it was A class 900. Aye. Ooh. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, going by how Game Pass is laid out, that the intended use is for you to test games and then eventually go out and buy them, because rental services like PS Now, Game Pass, xCloud are all untrustworthy. Because what happens if Microsoft loses the license to a game, even if the game is popular, and they don't renew the license, you're in for a bit of trouble there, bucko. What? Happy? Oh no, they didn't.
Great to see you've signed up to another autumn championship. I'll try and find time in my schedule to come watch you drive.
Wait, what? Honda. Hey, I'll take this. I'll take the NSXR, by the way. Because I really like the design that I put on it. If anything, this is just a morbid curiosity to just play the game now. It's not even like fun or very demanding, it's just... Like, yeah, of course there's going to be limits to how often you can actually enjoy Forza. Obviously, I don't play it as much as I used to, nowhere near as much. I used to daily drive the shit out of Motorsport 4 and Horizon 1. I'm getting bodied way above average. Yo, what's with the gearing on this car being ass? Oh lordy. Oh! I forgot to pause. But yeah, because of the Horizon 5 launch, not to mention the Steam. I saw an article recently that the Steam player base for Horizon 5 fell by 75% after about a week or so. Like, huh? How did you screw that up? At this point, there's... Depending on how many players that is, that could be a few thousand to a few 100,000. To even millions. I should look that up. Yeah, I'll have to see. Horizon 5. Player drop. Forza Horizon 5 loses primacy on Steam. Okay. Yeah. Forza Horizon 5 loses more than 75% of its players within months of release. Let's take a peek. Don't worry, I'll read it out to you. Forza Horizon tweeted out, "Thank you to the more than 10 million hashtag Forza Horizon 5 fans for the biggest first week in Xbox history and Xbox Game Pass ever. GG. Yeah, good luck renting that game." Yet, it seems that Forza Horizon 5 has been unable to hold on to its player base on Steam. The game community has pointed out a number of issues with the game that they are unhappy with. The steady decline in its numbers, as per Steam, indicates that players have finally had enough. I mean, sports, Skida, that's firmly worded, my friend. That's firmly worded. Oh, we're unhappy with Horizon 5. I've finally had enough. Forza Horizon 5 has been plagued by numerous bugs, exploits, and glitches that have ruined the experience for players. I mean, if you're using speed hacks and stuff, I get that. That's very much possible and it's annoying to deal with. The community has repeatedly spoken up about issues that hinder gameplay and make for a poor user experience. The streets of Mexico are completely devoid of any traffic. Wait, what? In free roam mode, this strips the immersiveness of the racing game. Players have blamed the game's matchmaking mechanics for this issue. Presently, the only way to populate the world is to turn into solo mode. Wait, hold on. That was actually one of my biggest gripes with the game at one point. It was one of my all-time gripes, or one of my biggest gripes. The traffic was fucking annoying. And it's not there. Oh, come on now. You remove the traffic and people are like, my immersiveness? Fucking bullshit nonsense. Open a new tab. We're constantly working to improve the experience of Forza Horizon 5. Game stability. Various stability fixes. Fixed a crash that could occur when loading Chapter 6 in Born Fast Horizon story. Fixed a crash that could occur when replaying Canyon Expedition. Fixed a soft lock which could occur during the Baja Expedition. Improvements for an issue where convoy members and other players can disappear. Okay. Fixed an issue where finding a barren find during a Horizon arcade event could leave players in a bad game state. Oh. Exploits. Fixed an issue where players could tune their car to a higher class vehicle before starting a race. Hey, that's kind of cool. Fixed an issue where players were able to post to rivals and PR starting leaderboards when using modified game speed settings. Okay. Okay, cars, whatever. So it's a bunch of fixes, but there's no. Wait, updated 21 days ago for that not launching or crashing on PC. Updated. Is there any updates? Whatever. But yeah. So one of the bugs that they fixed was that the streets were devoid of traffic when you're in online play. Personally, I would be thankful for that. Take your fucking immersiveness and shove it up your arse. If I want to blast my car at 200 plus mile an hour without having to worry about traffic, then that's something I want to do. Back on the article. There have also been a number of more serious game-breaking bugs at play, some of which have been quashed by the developer while others remain at large. Problems like infinite saving loops, never-ending loading screens, and random crashes have only been compounded by recent updates. Aside from the game-breaking bugs, one of the factors contributing to Horizon 5's reducing player base could be attributed to friend fire. Friend fire? Wait. Oh no, you didn't proofread! Friend fire. Should be mentioned that Steam only accounts for a section of the player base and not an accurate representation of the entire community, which is divided across Xbox and PC. I'm not gonna split Xbox One, Series X and S up. That's stupid. But it's split up between two platforms, Xbox and PC. Alright? Furthermore, as the title is available on Game Pass, a majority of the PC players are playing the game through the Windows Store. Okay, so that's how the games are going to run then on Game Pass. The Steam charts analysis of Forza Horizon 5's player count is surely going to be a cause for concern for Playground Games. The developer provided an update on December 9th, stating that work is underway on addressing the aforementioned issues. The new patch, as well as any possible future DLCs, could see some of the players return to the game. What? Yo, we had an Xbox fanboy. Okay, here we go. That kid viral. This article is totally bullshit. In no way, shape, or form is the game in dire straits. To even evaluate the performance, you would need Xbox player data, not Steam. Wait. Did they update the title for this? Was this originally clickbait? Modified 15th of December, so that must just be for title. So, under the assumption that this was originally a clickbait piece. Oh boy. But continuing on with that kid viral's piece. This game is a masterpiece and far less buggy than 99% of AAA games. Just clickbait, reporting them all doom and gloom. Nah. One day later, somebody replies, "Nah, it's a legit broken game. Seasonal activities that can't be completed. Terrible online performance, crashes, visual glitches, poor performance on high-end PCs." Oh. Accolades that don't work. A dull single-player campaign. Go and look at the official known issues list and then tell me the game is fine. Wait, why are you using Steam for the playbase count? Less than 25% of the players come from Steam from this game. So going by if you take 25%, If you take 25% of the 10 million, you're getting what, 2.5 million players on Steam. Well, I'm pretty sure that's 25%. One fourth of 10 million. Do you have the stuff hidden for tomorrow? Stuff. Show more comments. Who cares about Steam? There are still plenty of people playing the game, so to say, there are problems either means that whoever is behind the story is either bored or a non-Forza player. Nah. Oh wow, the Xbox fanboys are out in droves here. Some people just burn through games quickly and move on after a week or two. They may love the game, but still don't play for more than a few weeks before moving on to something else. Well, crappy, misleading, lazy article. This is what they're known for. Don't. Okay, let's continue on then. If I could see the original article, then I could judge it. Yeah, there's a lot of Xbox fanboys in these comments. There really is. There really fucking is. Oh no, our game's perfect! I mean, right. Here's the thing. They're more than likely playing on the console version, which is more stable than what PC has. When you come to PC, there's a lot more to worry about. Some people might some people might get it. Some people might get the bugs. Some people might not. If the original title was bullshit and clickbaity, then they have a right to be angry. However, these comments, some of these comments are like the Brandon Peters 311. That was posted after the changes. They posted after the changes. Rising Steam for the player base count. 2.5 million plus as a Steam player base. Yes, the Xbox version of the game has way more players. What's your point? 2.5 milli is still fantastic. If it makes up 25%, exactly 25% or less, you're still hitting the millions of players. Still hitting the millions and millions of players. The Xbox fanboys are out in droves disliking this one. El Biggest' comment. Oh, it's just your crappy setup. Nah, get out of here, get out of here. What's the Steam charts? All-time peak. So they peaked at... Oh, they only peaked at 80,000. What the hell? That's 30-day breakdown. Okay. So right now, on PC, it's dwindled down to 16,000 players. Good lord. Nah, fam, this ain't it. This ain't it. Let's not change that. An all-time peak at all the players being logged in on PC. Wait, that one article said they had 10 million. On Xbox history and over 10 million players. That's not all at once. That's all at different times, but it's whatever. Let's see. Primacy on Steam. Real Me Central. This was November 23rd. After weeks of being at the top of the charts for the most played game, one of the most played games, Forza Horizon 5 is starting to lose positions. The Xbox exclusive. No. No. You're ruining yourself by saying it's an Xbox exclusive. It's not. I hate when people do this. I hate when people do this. Forza's an Xbox exclusive. Hey, why is it on Steam? Why is it on PC? Yeah, no, I don't buy it. It's different architecture on Xbox. It's whatever. What? I quit the game immediately. Trans players respond to Forza Horizon 5's dead naming. What? Surprise when Forza Horizon 5 greeted them by name. The game pulls it from your Microsoft account, so I could probably say hello. However, for some trans players, this feature has led to the game dead naming them. A painful experience. Well, if it's going by what's on your Microsoft account, change the name on your Microsoft account, you should be fine. Bro, why are you on the other side of the layer? Mind blown. I put you to sleep. Good. KDY Young Team. Young Team represent Bucko. But yeah, I was reading an article. What I was doing there, I was reading an article about fucking Xbox fanboys spurging out. Oh, the game's perfect. Oh, there might be bugs, but it's way less than what other games have. Those kind of fanboys are fucking idiots. They really are. Sure, it's fine to love a game, but to deny that the game itself has bugs is fucking stupid. They're so annoying. They really are. Like, simping for a game is good. The game I would simp for day in, day out is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I simp hard for that, for it to be the best ever fucking Dragon Ball game. And that's it, I'd die on that hill. Xbox fans are doing the same thing to Horizon 5. By saying, oh, there's no bugs, what are you on about? Oh, it's your setup. Oh, your setup's to blame. Oh, clickbait. Maybe the article was clickbait at one point. But the writing matches up with all the complaints and everything that's been put out. Plus, the patch notes. The patch notes tell the story. Good lord. I was bored, hence me falling asleep. You simp hard for the T-How Chinese takeaways now. I don't. What are you talking about? I don't simp for the ABC or Dragon's Kitchen. Speaking of which, Dragon's Kitchen gave people food poisoning and they've been shut down 3 times. Jackasses. Oh man. There's so many Chinese takeaways out about. Oh, he's trying to pass me. What the fuck? Mate, come on now. Come on now. This is me you're talking about. You're not getting past. And across the line. Across the line. Wow, like 1.5 seconds behind. Sweet. Oh man, my guy's got that drip. I like his jacket. I like his jacket. My point is, fanboyism is BS. It really is. I freaking hate it. I hate it to a degree. It's fine when it's done in moderation. You have no criticism to do is actually pitiful. Well, get someone to commission you. Come on, marker. Oh, for fuck. It's way back here. Are you fucking kidding? Alright, let's go. Right, this is race 2. My guy has that drip, though. My guy has that drip. I didn't realize. Hello, Rex. How you doing? I didn't realize that there was that many people that would spare out. I know Horizon 5 had like 10 million sales. With an active player base on Steam of 20,000 plus. Why are you sad? Oh shit, they're hitting us up with this fog. You serious? Come on now. I mean, yes, the game's in Scotland. We do get fog sometimes, but like, shit, son. Oh, get my way, you fucking billick. Ah, I will make you unstable, you prick. And then you'd be just like me. Yeah, that sports article or whatever. It might have been clickbait at one point, which might actually validate some of the arguments that were against it. Oh, they're known for this clickbait. But people that were there were people in the comments that were genuinely like, there's nothing wrong with this game. You're just clickbaiting bastards. There might have been an issue with the title. Maybe an issue with the title, but there's still a lot of people simping for the game. Well, you don't have to say if you don't want to. It's fine to simp to a degree. But when you're so out there, when you're so out of touch, that you're like, my game's perfect, what are you on about? There's no bugs, you just clickbaiting. Then it becomes too much. I think the most ridiculous article is, or the most ridiculous comment is like, why are you using Steam as a metric? It's so minuscule it wouldn't even count. And so, there was a metric thrown out there that the 25% of the player base was playing on Steam. Even if it was 25% and it dropped 75%, that would have, at the time, it would have still been about 2.5 million sales. Now I know the company's probably lost a bunch of money on it because of all the bugs and people refunding. I'm in that group. This was the deleted message. What? I don't get that. It bugs me because at one point the game, the article, sorry, was clearly. Oh shit! Get your ass out of here. The article was clearly clickbaiting. I'm assuming it said something along the lines of Forza Horizon 5 loses 75% of its player base. I would definitely call, within months, I would call bullshit on that immediately, because Forza is one of the biggest. I'll get this copyrighted music out of the way real quick. Horizon is one of the biggest AAAs that have come to Xbox and PC. Come to Xbox. Not exactly on PC though, but can I find metrics? How many active players does Games Radar, Forza Horizon 5 player count exceeds 10 million players. I doubt. Yeah, they're probably not. Okay. Oh. Hours after launch, 4.5 million players. Each sale is a player. So you take that metric into account. Right. Over 1 million players on Windows Central. Okay. Between its Xbox and PC release. So this is on early access. So people that have played it on yeah, okay, this is a bit of an issue. So people who have played the game early access have already completed it by the time it came to retail. So therefore, you've already lost a bunch of active players right there. Yeah. Is there no way to find active players without having to buy the game? Games Radar, Windows Central. Crosses 10 million. I don't know what that's like. Merry Christmas. Hey, thank you, random guy. Hey, we're half an hour away from it, actually. You auto-corrected what? But yeah, the clickbait. You can see the clickbait from the original article that I'm on about that I read out to you. But yeah, a lot of those players are fucking delusional. What do you mean? You're showing nothing. Your text just says this. Wait, oh, what? I'd be hard pressed to believe. Yeah. Yeah, my train of thought got away from me for a second. If there's one thing I hate, it's deluded fans. You're winning easily, and now tougher driver tags want to challenge you. No. Because of how your bullshit fucking works, I'm not changing my difficulty. Because all you're doing is making the cars artificially faster to have artificial difficulty. Rex, if you need to say something, then type it out, but make sure it's worded correctly. Don't speed type. If you have autocorrect, you're probably using mobile. And mobile is pretty damn bad for autocorrect. By trying to re-explain it, you're making it more confusing. It's best not to get frustrated with it and then casually or calmly type the message out that you want to send. Oh, why did I just turn that way? Why are we off-roading? This makes no sense. These cars aren't designed for it. They're not rally cars. Then how are you auto-correcting? I don't know of any laptops that autocorrect. Oh, this dude wants to pass. He's not going to get past. We will drift though. Oh, what's he driving? Yeah, artificial. Fuck's sake, get out of here with that nonsense. Yeah, boy. I already need to get set up for the Christmas stream tomorrow. We won easily. Why are you copy pasting stuff? The NSX. A Honda Civic is trying to keep up with an NSX modified. Okay. Happy New Year phrase unlocked. Nice. But yeah, like quite literally, I've seen delusional fans. I've seen delusional fans from all over the board. And it grinds my gears. It's not just like on Xbox. There's a lot of elitists that are like, oh, go console. It's better than having to FNAF about with a PC or PC Master Race. Like, oh, we have all the options. We have so much more graphical fidelity. We have all the aliasing and anisotropic occlusion and other such things. It's all nonsense, really. Like, it's fine to simp. I simp for this. I simp for Sega even to this day. They made a lot of good consoles. Ooh, super peel spin. Click. Green top hat, really? A fucking green top hat. Nonsense. Alright, what's this one? Exhibition. Solstice Showdown. Wait. Modern. Oh, fucking modern rally. I hate rallying. Flex your muscle. Flex your muscle. S-Class 900 modern muscle. 5 days, 14 hours. Let's go. Yeah, being a fan of something is actually rather good. But if you take it too far, it's hella toxic. Trust me. It's hella toxic. You don't need that kind of nonsense. Like, it's a well-known fact that PlayStation and Xbox have been at each other's throats for years. And I know that the overall better brand is still going to be PlayStation. Xbox has pulled some pretty damning shenanigans. Also, whilst I'm in a bit of a ranty mood, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subbed already, feel free to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, so you're notified whenever I stream, upload, post in the community tab and all sorts. Wait, I think did you even get notified when I post in the community tab? Like, do you get mobile pings and stuff? If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, share the content around. If you want to become a channel member, feel free to do so if you want to. Let's see, yeah. Yeah, I was saying the Xbox has pulled off shenanigans, and they have done so. They've been pretty bad for shenanigans in the past. That one time they wanted to hike up the prices of Xbox Live Gold, and the fan base was like, "Nah, fam, this ain't it. Set your ass back down." Nobody shows on YouTube. Okay, so I'll have to stop saying shit like that. But yeah, Xbox tried to hike up the price of gold and they reversed it. But the most controversial thing right now is the DRM, digital rights management, that's on the Xbox Series X. Now, a lot of people are just going to be like, but well, I'll explain it first. So when you buy any Xbox system, you have to sign into an account to even use it, and you have to connect to the internet. In some instances, I forgot how many, but on the Series X, oh shit, that's finding a theme. Switch to normal. Is it really just gonna let me use anything? Well, that isn't that wizard. Present time. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna jump out of that event. There's no need for it. Yeah, the digital rights management stuff, the DRM, that Xbox tried to do, Microsoft tried to do with the Xbox One at the launch event of Xbox, the launch event for Xbox One. They snuck that in to Series X, and no one noticed. But Modern Vintage Gamer pointed it out, and basically, the way that it works is if you're not connected to Xbox Live services or an Xbox, or if you don't have, Merry Christmas, Rex. Hope you have a good one. If you lose connection to the Xbox Live servers on a Series X, or you lose internet connection, you will not be able to use a lot of the content that you have on your system. Games that you've purchased cannot be used. Xbox Dev responds to report that DRM is a serious problem. We need to improve on console error messaging. The popular modern vintage gamer has come. Okay. I need to have a bathroom break real quick, so give me a second, and I will read this out to you in a minute. BRB. Alright, we're back, buckos. How are you doing? You're keeping your Xbox One. Well, this only pertains to the Series X. So going on to the PureXbox.com article. A modern vintage gamer is a respected content creator. I definitely respect him. He's a very good person. Super knowledgeable. The popular modern vintage gamer has come out with a video report over the past 24 hours, which has certainly caused quite a stir on social media, focusing around a reportedly serious problem with DRM issues on Xbox Series X. The video in question has prompted Xbox One developer to come forward and shed some light on the issues at hand. In his video, MVG highlights that the Xbox Series X in particular has a heavy-handed DRM measure in place that makes using the console offline more difficult than ever, explaining that Xbox One and Smart Delivery Disc-based games don't always run if you're offline, typically due to requesting some kind of initial install or update. He also highlights that the Xbox Series X, like the Series S and Xbox One, require an internet connection in order to set up the console for the first time. So yeah, pausing real quick. That should never ever be a requirement. An internet connection should never be a requirement for a console. You should just be able to, you should just be able to take the console, plug it in, put your discs in and play. Same goes with like movies and stuff like that. The overall fact that you have to hook up the console to an internet connection is just nuts. He also highlights. Oh, I mean, I've already. Yeah. He also highlights that the Xbox Series X, like the Series S and Xbox One, require an internet connection in order to set up the console for the first time. We read that, which in theory would render unused consoles useless once Xbox Live is eventually shut down in the distant future. Over on the Reset Era forums, they're not exactly nice. They don't like shitposting and stuff like that, but their moderators and all that do shitpost. Not shitposting, they post problematic stuff, and they're not meant to, but they're allowed to because they're moderators. Over on the Reset Era forums, Xbox One developer by the name of Oscar K has responded to the video in question in his lengthy response. Oscar states that the main takeaway from the video is that the Xbox needs to improve on its on-console error messaging. Okay. So your biggest takeaway is we need to improve the error boxes. What? Why? The takeaway should be that DRM is bullshit. It shouldn't exist. Having watched the video and read through the discussion here, my main takeaway is that we, Xbox, need to improve on our on-console error messaging. The very generic and unclear error message clearly adds confusion and can lead to mistrust of the system. There is actually an effort internally to revamp licensing-related error messaging, and I will ensure that this feedback is heard internally to continue driving that effort. On-console error messaging. Yeah. In a rather long response, Oscar K explains how different generations of Xbox games require different methods for installation. That should not be a thing. That should not be a thing. All of the data should be on the disc. MVG's video clearly says, or clearly shows, him trying to install a game to the hard drive go online to finish installing it. Right. My issue with that is that you have to go online to verify that you have the game and you're not just trying to run some bootleg copy or whatever. For example, an original Xbox game needs to be online to install the files required for the emulated version. That one makes sense. I'll give them credit, that one does actually make sense. Perhaps more interestingly, and less well known, is the difference between physical versions of smart delivery titles. As detailed by Oscar K, there are a variety of reasons why applicable games require different installation processes. So, some of these are actually very good. But it's only really addressing the small stuff like the smart delivery now. Smart delivery discs vary in content for a variety of reasons. Discs like Forza Horizon 4, which we're playing now, were pressed years before the Series X and S existed. Repressing discs is expensive and doesn't actually help anyone since it requires the user to repurchase anyway. FIFA 12, discs like FIFA 12 were pressed with the stop of the Series X and S versions. Or FIFA 21, sorry, not 12, that's, ooh boy. That's PS3 and PS2 territory. With the stop of the Series X and S versions were simply not ready at the time the discs were pressed. Reason 3. Discs may not be able to contain both versions of the game for space reasons. Which versions are pressed is up to the developer. I would expect that it would generally line up with whichever was the primary version developed. So, if you press a Series X version of a game, or if you're releasing to Xbox One and then the Series consoles, the main version might just be the Series X. So that'll get pressed and made compatible with Xbox One, I believe. Up with. For now, cross-gen titles are primarily targeting Xbox One, but that will change over time. In MVG's video, he also points out that although setting your system as your home console rectifies many issues, he still had trouble getting games such Ori and the Will of the Wisps to run offline. The reason, as Oscar K explains, is a one-time connection required for compatibility, meaning the game needed to be played online once. He explains the process, but in layman's terms, it's a registration step. Yeah, digital rights management. They want to know that you've bought the game. They want it on your account before you can even play it. What I think they should have done is pressed two versions of the game. One compatible with Series X and S, and one compatible with Xbox One. That you do not have to connect online to play. Similar issues... Wait a minute. Despite the explanations, he did acknowledge that Xbox needs to find a better way of communicating these processes. In a final comment, Oscar K added, licensing is a complex area, especially with discs and external hard drives. As we can do better informing the user, I will take this away to the team and ensure we internalize this. Similar issues have been around since the start of the Xbox One days. They're the remnants of the architecture in the console. They're the remnants of the architecture in the console, which was originally intended to be always online device. That being said, the fact that Xbox acknowledges these issues and has accepted they need to improve their error messaging is a great step. No, they don't need to improve the error messaging. They need to improve their overall process. If you buy an Xbox One game and want to play it on a Series X or S offline, you should just be able to pop in the disc and play it without having to connect online. If your connection goes down, or Xbox Live servers go down, you essentially have an expensive paperweight. And in no way do they address the stuff pertaining to having to log in and register to even do anything. I find this maybe wrong about. PS4 at least has the same issue with the digital purchases, requiring the console to be set as the primary console to play digital purchases offline. I've opted for all my Xbox games to be digital purchases in great part because I already knew about the Xbox disc solution. It was a hit of a joke. I would never recommend Xbox to someone with that. It's extremely into physical games and offline play. Xbox is heavily into the whole you need to be online all the time to even use this system. That's where PlayStation is better. PlayStation 5 specifically. PlayStation 5 has the architecture of the PS4 built in. It can just natively run PS4 games. I think 99% of them, or 95. One of them. What physical games and offline play. I do think MVG is a bit overly pessimistic about the future of the store. 360 Market might eventually shut down. Market might eventually shut down, but MS has a great single store front for Xbox as of Xbox One. No, they don't. No, I've seen the Xbox store and it's still fucking dumpster fire. Basically, we should expect for Xbox One market to be as durable and as reliable as Steam can be expected. The company to someday get out of the business and close up shop, sure. The biggest disappointment for me. Hey, how you doing? You're slacking on your job. I have no new commissions. That's nice. I personally made peace with the fact that I don't need to buy discs anymore, and that's on Xbox and Smart Delivery. While Xbox is going the wrong way, if you're somehow able to keep yourself online all times, then it's a fine system. It really is. I mean, it's from Microsoft, so it's somewhat reliable. But here's the thing. The Series X and S should have stuff baked into it. Right? Pull a Sony. Have it baked into the system. You can just insert an Xbox original disc, play it. An Xbox 360 disc, play it. An Xbox One disc, play it. It's not exactly simple, but they've pulled it off with Smart Delivery. And all this nonsense. However, you would lose access to certain features and it would run at the native resolution that it was originally intended to. Xbox One games more or less ran at 900p 30 FPS on average. One or two games snuck by at 1080, it's whatever. Basically now when I buy some disc, it's just a key to download and install the game. So it's now as if I bought the game digitally, except for the fact that in this case, I need the disc to launch the game. I figured anything online is like this right now, I assumed it was. I'm always online when I'm on PC or any console or any television. If I want to unplug, I walk outside, go for a hike, or go see some friends. Definitely not a serious problem for me because I've dealt with DRM for 18 years now. Personally, I would rather have it this way instead of keeping boxes and CDs around to keep my sulky. That's the issue. That's the issue. That's a kind of okay mentality to a bad situation. Games are getting so big now that they don't fit on discs. They're basically glorified installers. Oh, here we go. It's just legitimately not a big deal. Xbox Live won't be offline for decades to come. And by then a solution will have been implemented. MVG fear-mongering as usual. Oh boy, we've got the fanboys reeing. Oh my goodness. What happens in the future still remains though. This dude, I would fucking rip this man to shreds. This Papa Heffy. The dude is a certified idiot. MVG is a respected member of the community. He doesn't fearmonger, he spits facts. You get to a point when you see the fanboys. Half of this guy's issue with digital games is he didn't have the console set as home. That's the same on PS5 for me as well. Wrong. Wrong. MVG mentioned that you can do it at home. But home isn't actually the fix, it's just a temporary fix. If you do that, digital games can be played offline so long as the actual game itself doesn't require an online connection. Motherfucker, all of them do. The smart delivery aspect is just the reality of the features. You can't fit two versions of a game on one 50GB Blu-ray disc. You can. If it's not AAA, it's not going to exceed 10 gigs. Right? AAA titles such as Forza, that's 90 gigs. You would of course need an installer for that. However, you could still buy a big Blu-ray disc. You could buy a triple layer Blu-ray disc that can hold about 125 gigs of data. You can fit one game onto it. If you include a second disc for the original bit, for like an offline copy. There you go. The main issue for me is that MS need an offline option to set the actual console up. At the moment, I don't think it's possible without an internet connection. Bullshit. PlayStation's done it. You don't need a connection to set up a PlayStation system. It'll just go through one or two details, and signing into PlayStation Network is optional. But if you want to use specific apps like Plex, you need a connection. My Series X is set up as my home console, and I noticed during an internal outage last month that I couldn't play any of the games I downloaded from the Game Pass. So Game Pass isn't streaming, it's just downloading. Okay. Tested it last week again, and I had the same issue. I think too many here are being overly dismissive of the issues. Yes, Mr. fucking Papa Heavy. Fear-mongering. Fucking idiot. You might only care to play games released this year, but plenty of people enjoy playing multi-decade-old games. Thank you. There's a reason Xbox has put so much effort on back compat all the way back to the OG Xbox, and those efforts being praised here. Can't have it both ways. Can't brag about back compat and dismiss the console becoming a brick on a couple of decades. Thars, man, you fucking goat. You're goated, buddy. You are goated. Trev666. I'm okay with having to connect up once to the internet for first time. Connect to the internet the first time you turn it on. Also, why wouldn't you set your console up as your home console? That's because of game sharing. Blanks. You can only play games you actually own offline. Yes, home console is used for game sharing. For example, I have Series X and One X in my house. Wow. Okay. I agree with MVG. DRM issues need to be addressed and fixed for Series X. Correct me if I'm wrong, this actually sounds like an Xbox One issue that's carrying over, not a Series X issue, minus the installation, which we've known about. Not that I don't think it needs to be fixed. That's a fair point. The issues that the 360 emulation already requires an internet connection to read cloud saves. Cloud saves are... whatever. Makes his known he shares his games between him and his friends. That's all the Xbox in the home one. Cloud saves are a convenience. Are they though? Are they really? Pretty sure due to the way the emulation works, you can't play any of the back games on the internet. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I said this earlier. And it's played as far as I spent every night because this is a new thing. Potentially. Because if I think of a topic, I'm going to look it up. If I think of something, I'm going to look it up and y'all come on this fucking rabbit hole with me. Yeah, the way the backwards compatibility works on Series X and Series X, you insert your game and it downloads a patch to allow the game to run properly. Meanwhile, on PS5, it's all baked into the software. It does the correct adjustments and allows you to play your PS4 games on your PS5, which is I wanted it to be that way for Xbox, because if you could just get a Series X, hook it up, and then just play all your games offline, that would be fantastic. You don't have to piss about with an internet connection and have to worry about live going down or your internet going down. Because a lot of people brought up a good point. What happens when live goes down? You will lose access to backwards compatibility altogether, because you still have to insert the game and download a patch from those servers. When those servers go away, you have nothing. Meanwhile, if it's all baked into the software by default, you lose nothing. There's so many good people working at Xbox. How could they make such a brain-dead decision as to make backwards compatibility an online-only feature? Tharsman brings up a good point. You can't do the initial install without internet. Yeah. MS needs an offline option to set the actual console up. Yeah, not super wide now because Big 3 aren't going anywhere, but I appreciate the security researchers to look into these connections. Before Sony and Nintendo or MS retire the digital platform, they need to decouple the online. Yeah. It's... if I insert a 360 disc now and install the required digital copy, I got all that's technically needed for that 360 game to run on my machine. Yeah, but you still need an online connection to verify that you have the game. Who cares? It bumps in the road, I'm sure you... What? Who cares? It bumps in the road. I'm sure you joy in the internet somewhere. Where? Combat Wizard, please. I had an aneurysm reading that. Some really... No. No, it's not some really valid issues. All of them are valid. DRM is bad. DRM is really bad. It still exists today, even on PC. Agreed. Needlessly pessimistic viewpoint from MVG. If we look at Microsoft's response, it's one of the need for better communications on the messages and not of the act itself. Microsoft has the obligations, not only for consumers, where they need to protect their own and publishers' interests through the use of DRM. No, they don't. No, they don't. You're protecting nothing. You really are. None of these publishers are benefiting from you buying an original Xbox game or a 360 game in this day and age. You're protecting nothing. The use of discs as a licensing tool is an obvious solution in what can become a severe problem to the PC ecosystem. No. No. Not really. If a consumer is unable to connect to the internet or other services such as electricity, they should expect their options to be limited. This guy's a dick! This guy's a bona fide dick! Oh, you don't have internet? Well, expect your options to be limited, boys. Yeah. The whole fact that GTArajgaming GTArajgaming is a fucking dick. It really is. I've needlessly pessimistic. No. Disc-based licensing tools is not that big of an issue. It really isn't. Alright? If you insert a legitimate game and the Xbox can recognize it, you should be able to play from the disc or copy the entire game to the hard drive and then play it by default, without having to worry about being locked out from being unable to play your game if the services go down or whatever. Replace the Xbox with your favorite platform or console of choice, e.g. PS, Steam, iPad. Is there any that don't require internet access at some point? Why is this remotely a big deal to anyone who owns one? At most, a warning label on a box, but honestly, that's like putting a warning label on a TV saying you have to have power for it to work. Cool Dad TX. He might not get the situation, but the thing is, PlayStation doesn't require it. Only if you want to use online services. You buy a PS4 or a PS5, hook it up, put it in the disc. You could play the game. The same goes with PS5 and its backwards compatibility. You buy a PS5, you stick in a PS4 game, you're playing it. Straight up. Simple as. You don't need to connect to the internet. You can do offline setup. Yeah. Oh, bollocks. I didn't have a bathroom break. Give me a second. I'll be back. Also, Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh. But yeah, those were some interesting reads. They really were. But yeah, there were one or two fanboys in the comments that were like, "Really?" It's funny to see hardcore fanboy comments, but at the same time, it's also fucking sad. Like comments on that level where people are like, it's just, It's like saying, whatever. People that are like, well, if you don't have an internet connection, it's expected. They don't care. They don't care. They're not in it for the right reasons. They're only in it if it benefits them. I call them jackasses, in all honesty. So here's the thing. When it comes to console gaming like this, everything should be convenient. Xbox definitely means well with its backwards compatibility. But it should be baked into the software. Now, if there's another Xbox console after the Series X, they should rectify that immediately. Have backwards compatibility baked in. You shouldn't have to connect to online servers. The system should know what to do. Because after all, it is emulated. Because after all, it really just is emulated. The same goes with, yeah. Another thing that would improve the system dramatically is removing the requirement for online activation. That has to die now. That has to fucking die, absolutely. We've got a race to do. I think... I definitely think that PlayStation also needs to get their head out there. They need to look at the demand for playing legacy titles. Look at how many people were hyped when they saw the backwards compatibility list for Xbox. Like, oh shit, we can insert our game, download a patch and play our old game, our old Xbox game on the Series X. Alright, is this the one I was doing? Yes. Oh shit, that was the event. Unbeatable driver tires are fucking retarded, I'll tell you that much. I actually picked the wrong area to drive to. What is this one? I don't want that. If I can't find a good event, I'm going off. Fucking retro rally. If there's one thing I dislike, is its mechanics for rallying. It's annoying. But yeah, PlayStation of America needs to take the finger out of their ass and be like, hey, there's such a high demand for our legacy titles to be played on your hardware. People still have the discs. There's still so many of these discs floating around there. We should totally let people play them. Sony needs to get to work on that ASAP. They're already making great progress with the backwards compatibility on the PS5. Granted, the Xbox Series X will allow you to play more games. However, you have to be always online to even do it. You have to be online to validate the game. You have to be online to download the patch. It's annoying. And the disc, it should serve as validation anyway. So it's just unnecessary. With a PlayStation, you can just insert the disc, even offline, and be like, hey, I know my net's down, I know PSN is down. I can still play my classic. I can play my PS4 titles. Auction house. Let's take a peek. Really, that thing's still up for sale? Oh, 12 million. Are you kidding? Yes, before GT40. Yeah, both companies are taking good steps forward to allow PC on their consoles. What the heck? I remember being hyped for the Hot Wheels cars. Now I don't even use them. Why would you put that on the Top Gear tractor? Jesus. Both companies are making great progress with BC. However, my kudos goes to Xbox for the sheer amount of games, but the overall winner is Sony. Due to the fact that it's all baked in. You're offline, stick in a PS4 game, you can play it. There's no need to set your console as home for that temporary fix. Or really, 2 million for the Plymouth Fury. Oh no. Oh no, wait, what? Peel P50. Why though? Oh, there's tokens from Data Live. Zero, no? Yeah, Almanos. Microsoft needs to borrow from Sony and scrap the always online nonsense. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, did they put the flag on it? Oh, they did. They put the Confederacy flag on it. Okay. That will cause issues with the fucking SJWs. Oh, Confederacy is racist. Yeah, that's not the reason I would have picked the car, but whatever you do, you do you. You don't like the Confederacy flag because it's racist? I find it's a part of the General Lee car from Dukes of Hazzard. Oh man. Oh, Jack Daniels, Aston Martin. I also in no way support the Confederacy. They're a bunch of evil pricks. Oh no, Scuff Gaming. Scuff, the place that makes custom controllers and overcharges you for it. Oh. I remember back in the day, they used to just stick paddles, cheating paddles or macro paddles to the backs of controllers and resold them to you. Like, it would just be a box standard controller. You'd have like these flappy paddles on the rear of the controller. And it was like a weird way to do macros. Like, huh? Anyway. I have now lost all interest in playing Forza. On the ground, it's just now bland and boring. Just like the title says. Horizon... This goes for all Horizon games. It's just a boring cesspool now. Once you're done with story mode, there's nothing left. There's literally nothing left except for like online challenges. Online challenges, well, fun. They fall into the unfortunate category of repetitiveness. So you're always going to have the seasonal challenges, and they're always going to be repeats. There's nothing new. There's nothing actually new. Remixes and stuff like that. But anyway, it do be Christmas Day. And it has been for 24 minutes, so... Well, at least in the UK anyway. So, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. I will be live later on tonight, my time. I think 8 p.m. maybe. I have no idea. But we're doing a Christmas special stream tonight. And it's going to be all Sega. We're going to be playing the Sega 32X, Sega CD, Sega Mega Drive. I have a few good games for that, actually. So if you want to tune in for that and all that good stuff, feel free to. The reason I specifically do Christmas specials is because there's a lot of people out there that don't have much for Christmas. There's not much that they get, there's not much they can do, they might be lonely, might be needing a place to be. Something might have happened to them, and they want a place to be. Anything at all. I want them to come to my stream to hang out. I want them to go to other people's streams and hang out. I want to show them a good day. Or a good time. Not like that, but, you know. If I can improve their day, so be it. It's the least I can do. Even on Christmas. It's not much, something. But if they want to hang out and at least be a little bit happy, ask questions, whatever really, then they're more than welcome to. I'm just going to reload my page here. Hey, did I just get featured on Game Banana? Sweet. 82 views, 1 heart. And admins are not moaning at me now. Sweet. Nice. So, for those who don't know, I'm on Game Banana and have been for a while. Or rather, I made an account. You can download mods without needing an account, but I decided to make an account anyway, just in case I ever decided to post mods on there. But I decided to post a small guide to help people import models to Sonic Adventure 2 on PS3, because aside from me and maybe like Dexterity, no one was sure if you could even do it. Hell, when I first tried it, I wasn't even sure I could do it. And look what happened. Look what happened. I ported an entire PC mod to it. Well, partially. You're missing out on all the DLL nonsense that comes with it. But it's whatever. It works. And it's just literal putting in models and doing things the right way. So I decided to write up a small guide on how to do that. It's whatever, really. If it helps people, fantastic. If it doesn't, oh well. You can't help everyone. Anyway. That's it for now. If you've enjoyed yourself, feel free to sub to the channel, drop a like, share the content around. If you want to be a channel member, you can do so. Of course, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. With that being said, this has been GTARaj. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you tonight.